Good evening. Great to have you here on this Monday. I'm Laura Painter.
And I'm Chris Thomas. We do thank you for joining us on the ABC10 app. We want to start tonight with new video that reveals the violent struggle leading to the abduction and death of a father in Tracy.
Security cameras at a Sikh temple captured the moment 57-year-old Avtar Singh fought back against three men dressed in dark clothing who forced him into an SUV.
Investigators now say Singh may not have been the intended target. Almost 100 miles away, that kidnapping ended in tragedy. ABC10's Gabriel Porras has more.
At Tracy's Sikh temple Tuesday, security cameras captured the struggle. A crew of three dark-clothed abductors and the temple's cook who tried to escape.
He fought like a man who was proud and was not going to be taken.
San Joaquin County Sheriff says Avtar Singh was not the person who the group was looking for in the first place.
It appears that he was not the intended target. They just approached Mr. Singh and had a conversation with him. Mr. Singh answered them the best that he could, and they apparently didn't believe him when it came to his answer or whatever. And we had put it out all over statewide that we had a missing person that it appeared to be abducted.
Almost 100 miles away on Friday, that abduction turned into a homicide. Napa County officials discovered Singh's body in a ravine near Lake Berryessa.
There were not obvious signs of death as to what caused his death at that time. Obviously, we did an autopsy yesterday, and that'll all be part of our investigation.
What started as a fight for survival in a statewide search is now a fight for justice and a community's grief.
He left a widow behind and triplets that are less than a year old. This was a horrific case, and it's rare that you have a kidnapping like this. I'm confident that we'll end up finding the subjects that did this.
In Tracy, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
Gabriel, thank you. Investigators say they found the white SUV originally used in the abduction. They are asking anyone with any information to call the sheriff's office.
A Sacramento man convicted of kidnapping and molesting children in Sacramento County has been granted parole unless the state steps in. David Allen Funston was sentenced to multiple life terms in 1999 for 16 counts of kidnapping and child molestation. Investigators say in 1995 and 1996, Funston abducted and molested 9 children in Sacramento County, 7 girls and 1 boy under the age of 7, targeting neighborhoods including North Highlands and Foothill Farms.
Lured them with candy, Barbie dolls, toys, and abused these kids horrifically. Horrifically. The youngest victim, 3 years of age.
Was granted parole after a 2025 hearing, a decision upheld last week. Sacramento County Sheriff Jim Cooper is now urging a review under California's Sexually Violent Predator Act before Funston is released. The Department of State Hospital says federal and state law prohibits them from providing any specific information about Funston's case.
A major military operation in Mexico has sparked unrest in and around popular tourist destinations. Mexican authorities say they've killed the nation's most powerful cartel leader.
Criminal groups immediately reacted by setting cars and buildings on fire, blocking roads and preventing people from leaving several cities. ABC's Christian Cordero has the latest from Washington.
Today, a violent raid in Mexico that killed one of the country's most notorious cartel leaders has millions of people on edge. Officials say Sunday's military operation killed multiple cartel members, including the head of the Jalisco New Generation cartel known as El Mencho. Mexico's visibly emotional defense minister today said more than 24 members of the military were also killed during the raid. The White House confirms it helped provide intelligence for Mexico, but that no American troops were on the ground. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum emphasizes the priority now is to provide peace and security. Security forces are patrolling in the air and on the streets. On Sunday, criminal groups set up hundreds of roadblocks, setting cars and buildings on fire.
You could see the fear in people's eyes. I mean, they were very, very, very concerned.
The violence reached popular tourist destinations, including Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara, as the U.S. Embassy urged Americans in Mexico to avoid all forms of travel.
We're all just under the shelter in place, told not to go anywhere, lock your doors, stay inside.
Sheinbaum says the roadblocks are now clear. Puerto Vallarta's airport suspended all operations yesterday, leaving people, including American tourists, stranded. Flights there, including those to and from Guadalajara's airport, have resumed today. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Christian, thank you. Now, we're also hearing from Californians stranded in Mexico tonight. We'll have their perspective coming up on ABC10 News at 6.
Turning now to the deadly avalanche in Nevada County. Hundreds of people gathered in downtown Truckee last night. They held a candlelight vigil to honor the 6 skiers and 3 guides who died on a backcountry trip last Tuesday. The Nevada County Sheriff's Office says all 9 were recovered after a 5-day search and recovery mission. The victims ranged in age from 30 to 52. The 6 skiers were described by their families as moms, wives, and close friends. The 3 Blackbird Mountain guides who died were 2 men and a woman, described by their employer as skilled professionals, colleagues, and friends. Investigations remain underway to determine why the group was in the backcountry during high avalanche danger.
Also in Nevada County, crews spent the weekend working to prevent another deadly avalanche. This video shows a helicopter dragging a barrel across deep snow on Friday in order to safely knock down unstable patches of snow. The U.S. Forest Service has lifted the Castle Peak avalanche closure in the Tahoe National Forest. The area was closed for public safety and to support search and rescue operations. Tonight, days after the storm last week, thousands of people across the Sierra and foothills remain without power. This is a live look at the PG&E outage map. Multiple counties are impacted, with Calaveras County and the Arnold area seeing the most impacts. According to PG&E, some customers may not have power back until at least Wednesday night. Warming centers and grab-and-go bag locations are still open. You can find a list on PG&E's website. Meanwhile, Monica, I understand you're tracking more possible snow in the forecast. We'll get over to that in just a moment.
But first, coming up, no official Democratic Party endorsement for governor. Why the party's state convention just ended without one ahead of the June primary.
And a partial government shutdown and confusion at the airport. TSA clarifies the pre-check and global entry status. Next.
Our next weather system already on the move. This one quite a bit warmer. How much rain and snow we'll see.
Well, believe it or not, we are now less than 100 days until the June primary election.
More than 4,000 people, including more than 3,000 delegates, attended the state Democratic convention over the weekend to endorse candidates up and down the 2026 ballot.
ABC10 State Matters political reporter Jenny Huh was in San Francisco and has a closer look at what happened.
I have an unparalleled record of delivering results.
Democrats, let us stand up together.
Nothing can beat the power of the grassroots.
Let's get together, make the biggest wave this state has ever seen.
Let's see someone who will live up to our progressive ideals.
We will start doing on day one.
I know who I fight for, and I know who I will win for.
That we can tax billionaires like me.
These 8 candidates running to succeed Governor Gavin Newsom were front and center of the California State Democratic Convention. But with the race so crowded, no one reached the threshold to get the party's official endorsement ahead of the June primary election. San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan jumped in too late to be considered for an endorsement.
That's what we thought that was going to take place going in. That's what happened going out.
Mathematically, really difficult to get that 60% threshold that you need in order to secure endorsement.
As for delegate votes received, Congressmember Eric Swalwell got 24%, former State Controller Betty Yee 17%, former Health and Human Services Secretary Javier Becerra 14%, billionaire Tom Steyer 13%, former Congresswoman Katie Porter 9%.
Most voters aren't going to spend a Friday through Sunday at a state party convention. This is not necessarily a representative population of the statewide electorate.
So the political implications are big. Which candidates will remain heading into June?
A governor's race is extremely expensive.
Inevitably, this field will narrow.
And which 2 will be the top 2 heading into the November runoff?
Percentage-wise, it could happen that it's 2 Republicans. It could happen that it's 2 Democrats. And what's most likely is it's going to be a Republican and a Democrat.
If I were them, I wouldn't be getting too excited about the prospect of freezing out the Democrats.
By party leaders, including special guest speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi, a push to get out the vote in the midterms.
There will be a reckoning.
And commitment to continue fighting against President Trump.
I've already taken Trump to court 58 times.
Still anybody's race.
Most of these people who are in the race now are probably going to be on that ballot in June.
Jenny Huh, ABC 10.
Jenny, thank you. We do want to note Republican strategist Tim Rosales is representing Republican candidate John Slavitt in the governor's race. To the Point host Alex Bell sat down with all 9 gubernatorial candidates. You can watch those over the next 8 days on To the Point at 6:30 p.m.
And President Trump delivers his State of the Union address tomorrow. ABC 10 will have live coverage throughout the night. Join us starting at 4 p.m. for pre-address coverage and local news and weather. The State of the Union address starts at 6 p.m. Then join us for post-address analysis and local news on a special edition of ABC 10 News at 10 p.m., followed by late news tonight at 11. But for now, I do want to bring back in Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods because we're tracking some more rain and snow in the forecast.
Oh, yes. Here we go again. We just got the roads all clear. But it is a nice sign of spring further beyond that, too.
Right. And this storm is going to be warmer. So, we are going to see some snow. Don't totally discount that. But then it's going to quickly turn over to rain. So a lot of variations in this particular line that's coming through. So let's go ahead and take a look at where we stand right now. Cloud cover streaming in steadily throughout the day. Rain just starting to sprinkle in here. The big batch of moisture, though, still sitting well off the coast. This has a nice tropical tap to it, so it is going to surge some warm air. Despite the fact we're seeing rain, it is going to be a rather warm day for tomorrow. Main impacts for the rain, flooding concerns along the northwest coast with the flood watch in effect through Wednesday. Snow is going to be a higher elevation snow and wind gusty in the Sierra. We have a lake wind advisory in place through Wednesday with wind gusts up to about 45 miles per hour. Locally, we've seen a lot more clouds through the afternoon. Temperature still sitting in the 60s with our sunset at 5:53, 48 degrees for Tahoe with cloudy skies. Most of the day was actually sunny up at the high country, so highs reached the 50s. We maxed out in the upper 60s to near 70 to kick off this new work and school week. Quite a contrast to what we saw last week. And this is, again, going to be a warmer storm. We'll see occasional winds come in through the evening, but overall, it's going to be a pretty quiet one for us with just some light rain. 55 degrees that morning low. low. That just showcases how warm this storm is. As far as the wind gusts, they'll peak tomorrow morning at about 20 to 25 miles per hour for the valley. The real story will be the Sierra, where winds will continue to pick up at times almost 60 plus miles per hour for the Tahoe Basin. So again, a gusty day for the Sierra, dangerous for any of the water recreation. You want to definitely stay off the water, and the backcountry continues to look at this avalanche watch through Wednesday. They'll continue to look at that snowpack and see the vulnerability. They may increase it to a warning, which will follow. As far as our excessive rainfall forecast in the Tahoe Basin and north of that area, slight risk of seeing some excessive rain come in for the forecast right through tomorrow. Keep in mind, we had snow. We're talking feet of snow last week, so it's going to be rain on top of snow. Very little additional snow, about 1 to 2 inches. But as for rain, we could pick up 2+ inches for the Tahoe Basin. For the valley, about 1/2 inch to 1 inch as we head into the foothills. So again, quick little bit of snow coming in around midnight to 2 a.m. Then it quickly transitions over to rain for the high country. High elevation snow, you know, we've got those higher peaks in the central Sierra, upwards of about 9,000, 10,000 feet. They'll be seeing snow, but most of this is going to be rain for the Tahoe area. Our high pressure ridge builds in after that, and it's all about the warming weather ahead. Highs tomorrow in the 40s for the Tahoe Basin, with 50s and 60s in the foothills. We're in the 60s to near 70 through the Bay Area and the capital region. It's going to be a warm storm rolling through for tomorrow. Highs will be in the 60s for tomorrow, even warmer by the end of the week. With a lot of cloud cover out there, we'll track a slight chance of seeing some weekend showers. Right now, I'm going to keep it dry, but we'll watch out for that. And then steady 70s next week.
I tell you, it's going to start to feel like spring out there, huh, Monica?
I know. It's extra blankets on the bed, extra blankets off the bed. You know?
Not complaining about this trend. Looks
Yes.
good. Monica, thank you. Now to the partial government shutdown. TSA pre-check will stay open, but DHS halted another popular fast-track travel program. DHS is walking back its weekend plan to suspend TSA pre-check after criticism and confusion from travelers and the industry. Global entry, however, remains shut down for now. That's the program that lets pre-approved, low-risk travelers use expedited kiosks when they arrive in the U.S. from overseas. This comes as we enter day 9 of the partial government shutdown. Democrats are continuing their push for additional oversight over ICE operations. There have been no reports of negotiations between Republicans and Democrats to end the partial shutdown.
Well, next at 5:30, an adorable puppy abandoned at an airport gets a happy ending, thanks to the officers who answered the call.
Then later, we meet a woman still sinking shots and chasing titles, reminding us all that age is just a number.
Welcome back. A 2-year-old golden doodle with a heartbreaking story has now found a happy ending.
And a brand new best friend. Here's ABC's Danny New.
Okay, buddy, go home.
A confusing roller coaster finally came to an end this past weekend for a now famous dog nicknamed JetBlue.
This is about JetBlue and his new family. This boy deserves to never be abandoned again.
Danielle Roth here runs Retriever Rescue of Las Vegas, which was contacted about 3 weeks ago by Las Vegas Metro PD.
We're back with a dog left alone.
After authorities say JetBlue was abandoned by his owner at the airport's JetBlue ticket counter. That woman was then arrested and had 10 days to claim him. That did not happen.
During those 10 days, we reached out to the woman that was charged. She hung up on us.
But fast forward to this past Saturday during a much happier occasion captured by our station in Las Vegas, when JetBlue was actually adopted by one of the responding officers that day, Officer Skeeter Black and his family.
We're going to enjoy him. He's going to be very much loved. And yeah, we're just excited.
Needless to say, Officer Black was not the only applicant. Danielle sent me this video of the rescue's inbox, which received more than 10,000 emails and around 3,000 applications from all over the world. Thankfully, though, the love has spilled over to other dogs. At the doggy daycare behind the press conference, dogs like Hutch here were getting adopted too. Not to mention the shelter has also received thousands of dollars in donations, thanks in large part to the bravery of one really cute dog.
JetBlue Airlines donated $6,000 when they heard about his story. That got doubled by an amazing, that got doubled. And I'm not allowed to say by who, but that was absolutely huge.
Danny New, ABC News, New York.
Absolutely adorable.
Yes.
Hard to imagine why anyone would want to abandon that cute little puppy, huh?
I know, too cute for words. And, we really know why they're called man's best friend, right? So sweet and lovable.
And nice to see that other dogs are getting a little help too,
Yes,
because
I agree.
of that story. Well, coming up, she's recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records and is still shooting to win. We'll meet the oldest competitive pool player next. Coming up new tonight on the news at 6, spring break is almost here. And if you haven't booked your vacation yet, don't panic. Tonight, the hot deals on warm getaways, ski trips, and even day passes. How to save big and snag that last-minute trip.
But first, you may eventually age out of a lot of things, but one woman is proving billiards isn't one of them. At 98 years old, Maggie Kennedy is still chalking up her pool cue. She doesn't just play for fun, she's competitive. In fact, Kennedy is preparing to fly to Las Vegas for the BCA National Tournament. And she'll get there in style, we like that, because her friends at Rax Billiards in Stuart, Florida, all chipped in to upgrade her to fly first class. We love that too. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, Kennedy became the oldest competitive pool player back in 2021. That was when she was 94 years old. She's 98 now, looking great, very sharp. I think that's what's contributing to her sharpness, all this billiards playing. In first class, I like it.
Hard to believe she's 98 years young, right? This goes to show when you have a passion for something, it just keeps you young, keeps you vibrant, keeps you active. Congratulations, huh?
Yeah, it really does. We're pulling for you. Remember, you can watch us anytime, any day on your schedule. Just download the free ABC10 streaming app.